Greetings, brothers and sisters. C.Kendall here, and I'm with Eldoria Crow. Now, Eldoria, I'm just going to let you introduce yourself right now and tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Eldoria Crow. I am a demonic witch, and I have my own channel called The Crow Cove with Eldoria Crow. I have on that platform. I have a lot of I have a lot of great content on my experiences with demonic entities, how they have affected my life and how they worked through my life. I also have a lot of great interviews with great occultists around the world, where they can share their experiences, and we just like talk and share experiences. I have interviewed a couple of authors, Enoch Petrucelli, which was very fun, and Taylor Elwood, and he's a great magician. You can find him at, I forget, it's magicalexperience.com, and he makes amazing books, occult and non-occult. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so I'm just trying to, communicate with more people and have more interviews and just get to know more people in our community.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, well, to give a little bit of background into our relationship and our dynamic, basically, no, I've known Eldoria straight from the beginning. We've known each other for quite a while now. She was a great supporter of my page, the Infernal Obelisk, and then I look into what she's doing, as I do with all my audience members. I like to see what all them are up to, and some of the stuff that you were producing was great. Specifically, your spirit board. Now I get the chance to review that, and if you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out. I got an unboxing of it on TikTok, and my review is on Facebook. So the Facebook page, the Infernal Obelisk. Now, what I wanted to do today is kind of get you on and really discuss this magical technology that you've concocted here, because it is different to what I've seen over the years, and it's just unique. And I know you have your own unique style onto it. So why don't you tell us all a bit about that?
Yeah. Okay. So the demonic spirit boards, I was influenced heavily by Lilith with this. I started reading the Citra Aura maybe about 8-9 months ago, and I was looking at it. I was going through it, and I was like, "Fuck, man! There must be an easier way to do this," or like, I don't understand, and I didn't have any guidance, and I was trying to comprehend, and I was rereading it, and Lilith. I was working very heavily with Lilith. She kept me up for about 3 nights straight, showing me how to construct a real life Azeroth star, which in the Citra Aura, it says the Azeroth star is the key to the Citra Aura. So I was like, okay. So she was showing me things of how to do it and how to make it. And I went out and I got all the supplies, and I made this board that represents the 11-headed dragon. And each sphere has the names of the demonic entity ruling the Klippa. The mirror itself acts as a portal. You can put the sigil of the demon or a spell. You put your blood on it. You put whatever you want on it, and then you can wipe it off. The board you can take anywhere with you. You can wrap it up. You can take it to the forest and summon demons. Now, that was a huge success. A lot of people loved it, and we were doing it together, and we were working the system together. And then I upgraded, and I wanted to make a board for the gatekeepers, and that is basically the same thing. You work through the 9 gatekeepers through the board. When you have a practical tool like this, it allows your imagination, your creativity just to open up more, and it's just a simple way, and it's fun, and it makes the experience so much fun,
Yeah.
And even my psychic abilities started to enhance. I would be putting my hands on the board itself, and I was able to read people, and I was seeing things, and Lilith was coming through, and it's just such an amazing tool. So now I custom make them. So it's not just for the 9 gatekeepers or for the clip pod, if there is beginners who they don't know where to start or they're overwhelmed, I can custom make them a board, allow them to choose what spirits they want, or if they want me to choose what spirits come through with me, I can make them their boards, and they can have this piece on their altar, and they can put offerings, they can put whatever they want, and they wrap it up and put it away or keep it on their altar. And it's just it's an amazing tool.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the interesting thing was, so when I took it out of the box, first off, I was really shocked with the actual energy of the product. Now, there are many out there that claim to consecrate these objects, to consecrate these products before they send them out. And they normally ship them out in bulk. You know, they normally shipping them out about 100 a time, or sometimes even more, through these big corporations. But you can tell 100% that you've put a lot of work into this, and you've imbued a lot of your energy into this and your time into this. When I took this board out, and here's the awesome thing is, you knew exactly what path I was on at the time with the gatekeepers. You knew I was working with that beast type of energy, and you went, okay, so I'm going to make a board for you, you know. And I like that. I like the fact that I didn't have to look through this long ass catalog. I didn't have to choose and pick, because I'm very indecisive. And the great thing about it was, I mean, it was almost as if you'd done some type of an initial reading, and whatever came through, you allowed that to work through you. Most definitely the spirits were working through your hands, and you were the vessel for that. So when I took this this board out and I was looking at it, first off, the artwork on it is amazing. I must give you props for that. I mean, the entire idea behind the spirit board is great. And I've never been a big fan of using stuff like this until I got my hands on this, you know. And here's the thing: is with adepts these days, they like to think that these tools are only applicable for the beginners, but it's not. This is a magical technology that the beginners, any novice, and any adept can use too, and it's very applicable. When you were mentioning the fact of when you were explaining it to me, you were giving me sort of like a guide of how it works, and you were saying about, you know, you can put the sigil on the mirror and it easily wipes off. I mean, and it was dedicated to the 9 demonic gatekeepers, so I could have interchanged that with each sigil, and how these marbles that acted as spheric gateways, almost like a vortex. All this was coming together, and I was like, it has multiple functions. This one object has multiple functions, and not only that, but it looks dope. And I think that's important sometimes, you know, when you get people that are creating products that have all these different functions, it can look a little bland. It can look a little basic, but you're very creative. You have a very artistic side, and that definitely shows within the process of making these boards too.
Thank you. You know, I have such when I'm creating these boards and I have a client, the spirits communicate with me, and I'll start drawing, and I can feel their energy, and I can feel their colors, and I'll just go through their Facebook and look at some of their pictures and just absorb their energy and see what they're about. And it is, when I create these boards, the fact that I know that I'm helping somebody get in more contact with a spirit that I've worked with, there's no other feeling. It's like I'm helping somebody, you know, and that's why I put everything into my boards. And I put my love, I put my energy, and I want people to enjoy them, and they do. And yeah, so and with the matching jewelry too, like I like to have matching jewelry with it, because then you can charge your jewelry on the boards. You can do whatever you want with the boards. And yeah, they're unique. I really try not to make them the same. Like if somebody wants a 9 gatekeeper, I'll do something different, or I'll do a picture, or I'll just do the sigil, but I really don't want 2 people to have the same looking boards. The only boards that do look the exact same are the Klipothic boards, because they were just, Lilith told me I had to make them a certain way for that power to go through that board. So I kept them that way. But for the other boards, I try to keep them one of a kind, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you can definitely see that, you know, when I was looking through your boards, how different all of them are in design. I mean, you got ones on there for Santa Muerte, you got ones on there for the demonic kings, the demonic gatekeepers, Klipothic boards, and so on. And that's awesome. And you know, I had that when you were talking about jewelry. I had some of that jewelry from you. As many people know, I love beads, and constantly I wear these, and you notice that, and that's what you did. This is what I'm saying. I think it's very important that somebody that is creating products like this takes the time to understand the client, and then can produce something for them and make something for them that have that sort of personal resonance. And you've done that most definitely, and that's awesome. So why don't you kind of let us in on a few things here? So I know you make spirit boards, and I just want the audience out there to not be confused, because there is this huge confusion of spirit boards and Ouija boards. There is a difference. There is a big difference actually about the Ouija board sort of works using slight tremors in the hand. And what happens is when you get into these receptive trance-like states, the tiny receptors in the hands, you have these tiny tremors. Even when your hand looks like it's still, it's not really still. And sometimes the spirit can use those tremors to send movements or gravitate you to go towards certain letters. And that's great. But a spirit board is, like you said, it is a portal. It is a portal. It is a doorway. It is a mirror. And it's also a focal point, which is extremely important in ritualized magic. A focal point that you can focus all your attention on. And then once you focus, whether you're scrying into it, whether you're meditating on it, whether you're doing incantations, prayers, mantras, it doesn't matter. And it's very important we make that distinction first, just so there's not any confusion.
You could use pendulums, though, on your board if you want. You could do that, but there is a huge difference, yes. And you explained it perfectly, yes.
Yeah, most definitely. So why don't you kind of let us into, I know you said to me that you're working on a device right now. So I'm trying to understand you here, because I've met many different individuals within your cult communities, within Black Magic, the Left Hand Path, and other spiritual communities. And a lot of them felt the same, not to take anything away from them. But recently, over the years, I started meeting unique individuals. For example, Barbie and J.S. Gara, I call them the mad scientists. You almost seem to be almost like a magical engineer with these creations that you're making. The only other individual that I do know did something like that, and it's a completely different category within magic, was Uncle Chucky, and he was the father of psionics magic. And I find that great, the fact that we're incorporating new and different things now into magic. And I'm guessing that's what you're doing. Am I correct?
Yes. Ever since I was a child, I wanted to invent and create. And I have ideas of, I can find a solution to a problem that wasn't even a problem. But, and that's what I can do. And it's funny because I lack I am dyslexic, and I do have some areas on that side, but on the side of creativity, it's overwhelming. Like, I can create and think, and I know that it is the influence of spirits. And now that I'm working with King Paimon, the things that he's telling me and the things that he's showing me of how these demonic spirits influence our reality by using us to create their reality. King Paimon and the two kings that he comes with, they are responsible for hip hop and rap. This is what they're showing me. They influence hip hop and rap so much. And I'm getting to know the two kings, Labal and Labalam. And the things that they're showing me about music and how they influence hip hop, they love it. They're like a clique, and so I wanted to grow a lot in the month that I'm working with King Paimon, and he got me to start putting all my stuff together. And when I started to make, I'm going to show you this book, I started to feel nauseated and sick in a way of the energy was so much. So this is my book. And I have put so much work into this, and I put all my sigils in here. I can open this up. I can now work through, do whatever I want, all in my one book. So he's got me to do something like this, and I had to do research on some things I didn't know. So that's kind of off topic, but this is how he's helping me create too. So they help you create. If you we are creators, but they are behind a lot of it. They inspire us, like this world, a
Oh
lot.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for over the decade from working with these forces and these entities, I can definitely say, they have huge influence over our world and we're standing in the world. Now, here's another thing. I mean, a lot of people just think that it's just the spirits. I want to make kind of a distinction here, is that we are a very creative species. Mankind is a very creative species, and I think that's one of the great things about us. Our poetry, our art, our music, our very creative and artistic ways. But what happens is the fact that people don't understand that there are different parts of our psyche, there are different parts of the individual, there are separate gateways. And I've always said the greatest gateway is the individual, is us. We are the greatest gateways there are for these forces. But in our psyche, there is that labyrinth, that internal pathway into the creative center of our psyche. And it seems like through there are these forces that are coming through and influencing these things. I mean, there are many musicians that, you've heard stories about, they've gone to the crossroads and made the deal with the man at the crossroads or the devil at the forest and all these different things. And that's, that is true, but also these spirits are working behind the scenes, and we're almost working synergistically with them, like a sort of a creative cohabitation, if you will, and that's very cool. And I can definitely see that's happening with you now. It's almost like anything you put your hands to, there is a part of Eldoria that is creating it, but it's being influenced and also sometimes adapted by these demonic forces. Am I right in making that assumption?
Yep, that's exactly right. And I'm aware of that, and I allow that because it's the best feeling ever. But yeah, yeah, you're right. That's exactly how that works.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So here's the interesting thing. I mean, what was your now? I know there are many of us that take our creative process, and sometimes we'll take it to an extent and create a few things and then stop and then produce these type of devices or works that we're doing. Am I correct in making the assumption that you've not only are you working with these spirit boards and you will keep producing these? I mean, we hope that you keep producing these, but are you working on other projects too?
Yeah, I am working on. I haven't gotten the whole blueprint of it yet, but I have seen a device that I can make that will basically trap any curses being thrown at you, any negative energy thrown at you. But through this device, with some process of this device, you'll be able to do some alchemy in it, and it'll be able to transmute that negative energy, turn it into like a solid, and then you'll be able to have that curse, that energy that somebody has sent to you or anything like that, and you'll be able to use that for your own magical workings. Or you don't have to send it back. You could keep. Okay, me personally, if somebody curses me, I fucking eat it. I eat your curse. Give me your energy. I can feel it. I want it. I can transmute that shit. And instead of giving it, why give it back don't give them back their energy. Screw that. They give you your energy. Use it. So I've been able to see a certain device, but I still don't understand the mechanics of it completely. But they're giving me little pieces. They're giving me little pieces. And once I have all that together, then I'll go out, make a prototype, try it out. And yeah, I'll what I usually do with my stuff is I usually give my stuff away. Like my boards, I probably gave about 10 to 15 boards for free to people, just so I could see how it worked with them. And some people, they couldn't afford it, and I'm not about the money. I really am not. I wanted them to have that. So when I do finish this, I'll be able to like give a couple people some of them and see how it works for them. But that's one of the things that I'm working on.
That's extremely interesting, because the amount of times I've had individuals come to me and talk to me about curses, they're always interested in banishing it away or cleansing it or protecting it. Whereas I think that most of us that walk this path now, once we reach a certain stage in our development, we can we can basically take and siphon that energy, siphon that power that is toxic, that is negative towards us, and then we can do that internal transmutation, what I call the dissolvement process, dissolving the intent, the toxic intent and the toxic energy, boiling that off, and you're left with a solid current of energy and power, and then feeding that into the self. And many individuals struggle to do it. You wouldn't believe how many individuals struggle
scared.
that.
They're scared.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I did it, I was scared. I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? I am going to absorb, but I was forced in a corner. But people in their logical mind, they're like, I don't want to absorb a curse. What the fuck is that? Like, logically, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're going to absorb a curse. No, but like, there is a process that you can learn to do, to exactly what you do. But most people are just afraid. They're just afraid of it.
I know people find the whole process of transmuting it very challenging. So the fact that you have an external device or whatever it is you're concocting, that's externalized, and then so I'm guessing it's almost like a cell, like a battery. It is really like getting charged by other people, and you can go to that and tap into that and be like, yeah, thanks fuckface for the charge, and that's
Exactly.
rather cool. That's rather cool. I mean, that would be extremely interesting to really experiment with. I mean, just in my case of being someone that loves to experiment with different currents and different forms of spirituality and energy in particular, I would love to try one of them, and hopefully I can tell you what I think on that as well.
Yeah,
and it would be rather cool to see everybody out there that is struggling with being, cursed and hexed, which is sometimes a problem in this community. But the fact that now they ain't got to worry about that at all, because not only is that being safeguarded, but they're also tapping into that power for themselves. So that's extremely interesting.
Yeah, and then eventually they won't need the device. They'll be able to do it without it. And the device too is going to be constructed to a way that when the curse or energy is filled, there'll be some kind of lid or something. It'll shut down, so you will know when it's filled. So it's not like every day you got to check on it. No, it's going to be in a way where this lid will fall. It will fall. But anyways, yeah, and then eventually you'll be able to do it yourself and not even worry about it. Sit there and absorb it.
That is very cool. That is very cool. So
yeah.
So what is your thought process that goes into creating these? I mean, the fact that I understand that you're channeling a lot of this and that you're acting as a channel, but I kind of want to move past that for a minute and get into Eldoria and what you're all about, how your creative process is, because I seen a video about how long it takes just for you to sand one of these boards down, how long it takes just to prepare the actual physical base of it, and how long you go into that. I mean, you look like you put up many hours just to making one board. Am I correct?
Yes, but when I'm creating something, I literally I start to go on the vibration of a creator vibration. And even though I'm creating and I'm putting on my passion, I'm still not really there. I actually kind of leave my body and I'll do something else. It's really strange when I'm in the zone, and I can sit for 8 hours, 10 hours straight and make these boards if I wanted to, because as I'm vibrating on the creator vibration, which is the highest vibration, I can manifest and I can put my thoughts into I use that energy while I create to manifest my desires in the future. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I do. So it's kind of like a win-win for me in that way. And that's why I tell so many people, do what you love to do, because once you are actually in the act of doing something that's passionate, you vibrate on such a high level, and then you can manifest easy, and you can think of things that you want. It's just I don't know.
It does most definitely. I mean, we do have these states that almost seem to be like perfect for these processes that we are involving ourselves in. For example, some people ask me, how in the hell can you sit in a temple for hours and hours inside a circle. And sometimes you don't even realize you're doing that. Sometimes you're so involved in the process and so immersed into the moment and the momentum of it, you don't question it. Time, space, all the evaluation and the analysis of those type of things go out the window entirely. So that's definitely awesome. That's awesome. So you said that you can be found on YouTube. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at the Crow Cove with Eldoria Crow. I have my Instagram, and yes, I'm on TikTok.
Awesome.
Yes, my witch talk, which I'm really enjoying. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of addicting, but yeah, so that's where you can find me.
That's awesome. Guys, if you haven't checked out some of Eldoria's works, go check it out. I mean, I really enjoy her company as a person, and especially as a sorcerer, I well respect exactly what you're doing, and I hope you have nothing but success in the future, and I look forward to seeing the other products that you have in store for all of us. So go check that out, cover the products and services that she offers, and thank you for watching. And it's great to have you on.
Thank you so much, Connor.
You're welcome. Goodbye for now.
Bye, everyone.